We're live.
We're live.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Good
how you
afternoon,
doing?
gentlemen.
Crack one.
That was a loud beer, Grant. Cheers. Cheers to you. Yeah, good afternoon. How is everyone?
Very well.
Well, thanks.
How are you?
Yeah. How was work?
Oh, yeah. How's the rain?
The rain was good. I had a shoot in the rain this morning.
With mountain biking.
Yes.
How'd you go?
I foolishly looked at the weather report and it said it wasn't going to rain till after lunch. So I decided I was going to shoot for the first time with just the 16mm 2.8 and 50mm 1.8 prime lenses because I've decided I think they're possibly the best. Those two lenses together are what people should buy as a kit lens for the Canon RF system. So I was like, all right, I'll take them out and I'll shoot sports with them and see if they can actually handle autofocus speed and stuff like that. But they don't come with lens hoods and they're not weather sealed. And it rained the whole time. So
And they're pretty short, like they're short lenses too, aren't they? Like, and they
Yeah.
don't have like a deep, they're not deep like the 58 or anything that you could get away with it.
Yeah. So where are we? Yeah, so there's not a lot of, not that you can see that really, but focus. There's not a lot of protection for the element. But yeah.
Can you get a hood for it?
Yeah, you can buy a hood. I'm going to buy one.
Yeah.
So yeah. And yeah.
How'd the shots go then?
Yeah, really good. I'll show you guys next week because the bike we were shooting isn't released yet. So I can't show you anything.
True.
But yeah, they went well and I'm pretty happy. I'm very surprised at how fast they autofocus. They're still not L lenses, but they did better than I thought. And yeah, quality of the shots is good. So,
if you're getting stuff, there, if you're getting stuff in focus, then it works.
Yeah. If you're joining us, we are giving away another $200 voucher. I believe Grant was going to facilitate.
Been writing down already.
He's going to write down names. If we bring them up on the screen, you go into the draw to win a $200 voucher. We'll give it away sometime during the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, ask questions in the chat. Anything about photography or anything about Jim's facial hair, whatever. And yeah, we'll pop you in the draw. If you missed last week, it was a good time. We had some fun. Lots of questions. We also had an interview this week too, which
That was very good. I watched that.
Oh, did you? Yeah, this one here with Lars about real estate photography. So if you're into real estate photography or think about branching your business out to something different, have a listen. Lars gives us all the details. So it was good.
Bit upset he's not driving a Ferrari though.
No, he's not. He's not like a TikTok real estate photographer making $50K a month, but he's doing very well. His business is successful. So, yeah. You guys both shot weddings on the weekend.
Did, yeah.
Sure did.
Yes.
Not the same wedding though.
Not the same wedding. Two different weddings.
Yeah.
Same wedding would be nice though.
Yeah, exactly. How did they go, Grant? How was yours?
It was pretty smooth, actually. Don't really do a lot of weddings, but this was a nice, easy one. The clients were nice and chill. Went out to the East Loddon wool shed, and yeah, it's a pretty cool venue. Got pretty cold at night, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with some of the shots I took, and can actually. I was looking through them before, and you can definitely tell I need to improve a bit more, but it's all learning.
So you had a look.
What do you have to improve on?
Yeah. Tell us.
Just figuring out the flash. Probably flash.
For bounce
On camera or off camera?
Yeah, on camera.
Probably on camera. It was pretty dark in some spots in the actual wool sheds. So yeah, it just took me a while to play around when I shouldn't have been playing around. You've got the bride and groom there, and you're just like, oh, hold on a second, I need to figure out the flash.
What flash are you using?
The Godox 860, I think it is.
Yeah. I think Justin and I both had them. I don't like it as an on-camera flash.
It's fine, but it's nowhere near as accurate as the Nikon one. I don't think.
Yeah.
I had that same experience. I still use it because I don't do as much as you do, Jim. But I think if I was shooting weddings every weekend again, I'd definitely have a Nikon flash. Although I'd like to try that V1, see if that's any better. I don't know if it's any different or not. That's the Godox. It's like a round head flash.
Oh yeah.
Lots of people, they seem to really like it for on camera. So I'd like to give it a try. But yeah, I agree with Jim. The Nikon SB910 seem to perform better. Yeah. Just more accurate exposure.
Yeah,
it's pretty much bang on every time.
Yeah,
and obviously if you've got to be on your settings, like exposure adjustments and stuff like that. Yeah, compensation, and also on flash, and depending how you're using it. But
yeah.
I haven't tried the new one. The SP5. They're doing SP5000. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I haven't either. Obviously, don't shoot Nikon, so hard to try it. Did you end up shooting high ISO at that wedding, Grant?
Yes, I did.
Did you try the new Lightroom AI Denoise when you edited some of the photos?
Yeah, so a bit of a story with that. It obviously updated Lightroom, clicked on a photo, denoise, and then it just made my whole photo purple. And that was the photo that I sent through. And then I slowly figured out that my graphics card was not updated, so it wasn't really selecting the right things. But once I've done that, I couldn't really tell much difference between some of the photos when I did click the denoise. So, but I haven't really had much of a play around with it yet because I've only sort of done the daytime photos. And then the nighttime photos were just dancing and stuff as well. So I don't know if I'll play around with it too much.
Yep. I had a bit of a play with it today. I'll show you guys in a second. It's interesting. Jim, Yelena says you might need some green lights or something just to try and set the scene with the rest of our.
Or does she mean like a plant?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe both. It's on the list, Yelena.
So what? Let me share my screen. Let me show you what I did with Lightroom today, because people were asking about the denoise, and I thought I'll have a bit of a play around.
Lighting under your picture.
Let me see.
Lighting. Yep.
Let's do share my Lightroom. All right. It's going to be hard to see, obviously, it's via 1080 YouTube stuff, but this was shot at a live concert, obviously. 3200, so not that high ISO, but easy to see the noise. Obviously, noisy, not noisy. Noisy, not noisy. Worked well. It definitely retains a lot more detail than when you just add noise reduction manually with the sliders, for sure. With after I was playing with it for a bit, got some glitchy audio there, Jim.
He's frozen.
Yeah.
Do you have internet in Strathfield Say, Jim?
Yeah, you might have to jump out and jump back in again, Jim. So this is where it can become a bit of a drama, is it really smooths out skin. So this was about 40 to 50, the setting. So it's a slider that goes from like 0 to 100.
Yeah.
And it looks cartoony, especially on guys. So this was very high ISO. This is 51,200. And a usable photo, like it was just sort of a dance floor with this is a really dark venue, no flash. And I was just grabbing some extra shots. And I thought I'd try it out on this, and it's
very smooth, isn't it?
Very, very smooth, very fake. So I definitely would not use that.
Yeah.
I think here that's it. Backed off a little bit to, I think, 10. Backed it off to 10 or 15 just to see. And yeah, it's definitely, it's not that much better than the standard noise reduction at that for that kind of thing. It's sort of like certain applications, but I think people are going to have to be really careful with it for working with people, and particularly guys at weddings and stuff like that for high ISO. It's not magic. Another example.
Am I still glitchy?
Here. What's that? No, you're good.
I said,
now.
am I still glitchy? I'm good now. All right.
No.
So as you can see,
Jim looks good in the other photo.
That was at
smooth I am.
That was at about 50, and it almost gives it this kind of weird cartoon, like
he looks like AI.
AI, exactly, and it's AI noise reduction, and it looks like it's AI rendered. It's really interesting, but it sort of like makes it almost fake.
Yeah, it looks fake.
Yeah, so people, all I can say is be careful and don't over-process your photos of people, because
there's
that's
no
what's
way
gonna
he's that
happen.
good looking.
No way.
It looks way too smooth, that skin.
But some of the fun stuff that I discovered is so basically once you remove the noise, you can then crank up the clarity. So this one is a non-noise, like regular noise reduction. This one is noise reduced. And then if we go into, if I get rid of this compare thing, and we go into this one.
Look at that detail on the rock and stuff.
I know. So it retains all the detail, and that allows you to actually crank the clarity to 100, which normally, if you crank the clarity to 100, it's going to look like a crazy mess.
Yeah.
But look, there's no noise.
No.
But there's crazy detail. Now,
yeah, that's pretty good.
It looks a little bit fake in the face. Not too bad though, and particularly for like a marketing shot, it makes it pop, especially if it was like a thumbnail or something like that. Is that gonna work? Yeah, like it's kind of cool. So I was playing around with that. It's
especially on like that was a 15mm shot.
it's interesting. It's really interesting. So this one is the raw.
Is that just natural light or is that flash?
Natural light. So that's the raw, a little bit noisy. That's it with the noise reduction.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, come on, computer. If you wanted to, you could crank the clarity on either the whole image or just the rider or something, and it retains a lot of the clean sections. You know, it doesn't. You know how it normally you just get noise everywhere when you crank the clarity up too much. It's strange. It's different. I think it's going to open up some doors.
I'll check it out.
So yeah, I was playing around with it with stuff like this. You know, you can do this kind of thing and really kind of over produce it to something that I wouldn't normally like. But it stays clean. So that's clarity that's clarity at 100.
Looks insane.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's because it's been noise reduced. Anyway. Fun fact.
Interesting. Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So
Thanks for showing us.
I had a bit of fun today playing around with some shots that I hadn't re-edited for a while or whatever. Like this one, I was just able to get, because this was shot at 6400, like right before it was already getting dark. And then can get a heap more detail out of like the rocks and stuff without introducing noise by denoising it first and then cranking the clarity back up.
Yeah. Cool shot.
Anyway, Also, you can now mask facial hair, so that's fun. I had a little bit of fun playing with your facial hair too, Jim. Thickened it up.
Mask. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, just like auto selects, same as it does eyes and lips and everything. Now you can auto select facial hair. I guess
And then thicken it up.
Yeah, add a little bit of texture.
Fair.
It's just getting too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any funny stories? I know Jim would have it
From the weekend or just in general?
Hey, you got any from the weekend?
That was pretty,
No.
pretty
Well,
chill.
that's boring.
Yeah.
I just had a good wedding. It was just fun.
What about any time, Jim? You've obviously done a lot of weddings.
You've done a lot of weddings.
I've done a lot of weddings. I don't know, like funny.
Worst, best.
Naked
You've
grooms.
really put me.
Give us
I
something.
think Eagle Rock. You guys know Eagle Rock, the song?
Yeah.
And you know do you know the tradition?
Jockey Dax.
Yeah, that gets pretty fun.
You like seeing willies?
No, there's never any willies. Just the jocks.
Hey, you have been to one where there's been there.
Yes. Yeah, we
Have
photographed a wedding with a
not
naked
quite
groom.
Eagle Rock, but yeah.
Full frontal.
Yeah. I did a wedding. People got their bums out. That was fun.
Yeah, pretty common.
Yeah.
Very common.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see, obviously, there's been a lot of discussion in our chat about the Z8. Did you see the size comparison?
No, I haven't seen it.
Well, allow me to present it to you. Dun, dun, dun. So, it is basically, just the Z9 without the grip part by the look of it. So that is Z9, Z8.
Mm-hmm.
That's Z8 next to Z7.
Yeah.
That's how much bigger it is.
I like that though.
You think? It's
do.
almost the same
Something to
size as
hold
the
on to.
850.
But I've got big hands. That's going to be perfect for me.
It's nearly the same size, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm keen.
Although, I guess, it is. It's basically exactly the same size. So look at it compared to a Sony.
Yeah. I'm excited.
How long is that away? 2 weeks away?
For the release, and then who knows when it'll start rolling through. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be an awesome camera. It's going to be very similar to the 9. They'll just take a few things away, probably.
Yeah.
Dumb it down.
Slow it down just a little bit, but it'll be expensive for sure, which we're talking about.
Do you think it's going to get the big sensor, or do you think it's going to be still that 45?
I think it'd be the same sensor as the Z9.
Yeah, I don't think that will put the big go any bigger. Yeah, with that camera.
Higher ISO than the 9? No. I feel
no.
like
I mean, megapixels. There's talk of like
megapixels.
61.
I mean, maybe. I mean, the 8 series has always been higher than but I feel like there's too big of a gap there for people that want these features, but not in a pro size body. So to make it higher resolution, although if they want to compete with the A7R5, then they could.
Yeah, but is the majority of people chasing 60 plus megapixels?
No, I think it's mostly people looking for that 40 something in an effective professional package with a
good frame rate, like.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see. So you think that's your next camera, Z8? You're not even considering other brands. That's it. You're locked into Nikon for the rest of your life.
Not locked in. I could definitely be swayed.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to get my hands on some Z gear.
Z gear.
Z9 would be nice.
Yeah, Sultan. That'll be your handle for the rest of your life. Sultan.
But it would be fun if we all shot different gear. It'd be boring
Yeah.
if we all had R5s.
That's true. Even if they are the better camera.
Yeah, it's still that fun though.
Well, we'll have to see once I get my Z8s.
Yeah, I think I mean everyone loves the Z9. So if the Z8 is just a dumbed down version of that, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, I saw some for sale, some Z9s the other day that were so cheap. Maybe that could be a potential.
Yeah, if people are getting rid of
a second hand one.
Yeah, well, if they're going to be
like
close to the price, just $6 Australian.
$6,000. 6,000.
Yeah, because that's probably what the Z8's going to be, like 5,000 to 6,000, maybe even higher. I mean, that's what the R5 was when it came out. It was 7 when it came out.
Yeah. Well, do you remember how much our D50s were? Actually,
no,
they were a lot.
Yeah,
I don't remember how much they were then actually, because of all the stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Geez, the chat is quiet tonight.
Very quiet chat.
20 minutes in and
no questions.
No questions. Not a lot going on. Hit us up. Stump
Except
us.
for Jeremy, Jeremy doesn't want to be in the giveaway.
No, but he'd like to try the 16mm. So
yeah. I don't think Elena wants to be in the giveaway either. Probably.
She's not allowed to win.
I feel like she's fucked for camera straps.
Yeah, she's got a good collection.
Yeah.
That was the other thing that I've been doing like a deep dive on camera reviews at the moment. And that's why I said to you, I want to know who your favorite camera reviewers are on the YouTube.
Yeah.
And I've been watching a heap. Too many, probably. Hang on, I'll finish this in a second. Mick Warren says, I'm amazed that everybody wants more megapixels. I don't know if everyone does. There's always that race, but I'm really happy with that. I'm happy with the R3 at 2024, but it's in terms of high resolution, I'm pretty happy with that 45 range.
Yeah. I think anywhere in 25 to 40 is, or 25 to 45, like it's enough if the body's keeping up with everything else.
Yeah, I guess the only thing would be if you're doing landscape, like a GFX 100 would be pretty nice. You know, if you're taking a shot every like 1 or 2 photos every half an hour, who cares how big the files are?
Yeah, and there's a purpose for those cameras. I think that's I think for the everyday person though, that's not really needed.
Yeah. So that's why I think the Z8 won't be any higher megapixel than the Z9. I think it'll be they'll stick with that, and maybe later on they might bring in a high resolution body to separate from those two. But yeah, I can't imagine people wanting it. Hey Kenneth.
Hey Kenneth, and hello everyone else.
For that, you get an entry into the competition. But if you ask a question, you'll get another one.
Are we doing doubles?
Oh,
double entries.
Every time.
Entries.
Every time
double
they go
entries,
on the screen.
All right. Every time they're on the screen. All right.
Yeah. Get that pen ready.
It's going to be busy.
So I was going through who I like to watch reviews of. And I think there was something like we all probably I watch Peter McKinnon. Grant watches Peter McKinnon. Sounds like Jim probably does too. But he doesn't do a lot of reviewing anymore. He's sort of like,
he's too big.
Yeah, and he only shoots Canon. So it's like it's more of a feature on that camera and makes a cool video about it. Maybe talks about what he likes, what he doesn't like, and then that's kind of it. I think in terms of specs, Gordon from Camera Labs is my favorite, I think. Do you guys watch him?
No.
Really? You don't?
I don't really watch a lot of camera Yeah, camera reviews.
You will once that Z8 comes out. You'll watch every single one
Absolutely.
of them.
Yeah,
See,
I'm not really interested in anything.
so
else.
don't tell me you don't watch a lot. It's more like you don't watch them when you're not buying.
Yeah, true.
You've told me once that one of your go-to reviews is.
Well, you. I
Fuji.
just.
Well,
it's
no.
you.
Well, yeah, but there's someone who's been around for years. That's one of your favorite reviewers.
Who is it? I don't even remember.
I remember you telling
Maybe
me
a while.
that it was
Ken.
Ken
Yeah,
Rockwell.
Ken's good. Yeah, he's good.
Rockwell.
He was the OG.
That website has been around for so long.
Yeah, I was reading Ken Rockwell reviews on the lead up to purchasing a D700 while I was at uni.
Yeah.
Because that was a big deal. I spent a lot of money on a D700. I thought. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
He's still going. He's doing video reviews now.
Is he? Stepping it up.
Jump on there.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look.
Yeah. Jeremy loves some Jared Poland. Frono's photos. There actually is someone at your house. That's funny.
Send them away.
I think that was.
Jim's got a meeting. He forgot.
No, I don't know. A meeting. That was someone in like a mask though. That's funny.
That is funny.
I wonder if Elena texted because I definitely saw.
That's
Wombat and
hilarious.
Gemma's. I think I saw Wombat and Gemma's car go past.
She's teed up a stalker in your window.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
That's real scary. Maybe I might just shut the blinds next time.
Mick says not wanting more megapixels is coming from astrophotography as his main interest, which that makes total sense. Like more megapixels means more noise. Not that you can't use high megapixel cameras for astro, but yeah, those sort of like the R6 Mark II, R3, all that stuff's perfect. Yeah, definitely. Scott. Jan Wegener does some great gear reviews. I actually watched his R3 review, bought the R3, and then he put out a video saying that he no longer shoots the R3, and I was like, unsubscribe, Jan. Unsubscribe. No, he's like more of a bird and wildlife photographer, so I think for him the extra megapixels of the R5 were more important than like the fast R3 side of things, because I
still with Canon.
R3. Oh yeah. He just went back to the R5 for the high megapixel, like the crop factor, because he shoots like tiny little birds flying around all over the place, and he could crop in tighter and recompose and things like that. So, but yeah, he's good, very thorough. I think he's in like Queensland or something.
Cool.
But yeah,
Australian.
Yeah, Gordon. I like Gordon. Gordon Lang from Camera Labs. You guys should check him out. He does very detailed, like kind of like Ken Rockwell style, where it's like every spec, demonstrated kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, good reviews. Highly enjoy.
Is he only reviewing Canon stuff, or is he a review bit of everything?
He reviews basically everything that comes out, if he can. And then who was the other one I was thinking of? Did you guys ever used to watch Digital Rev TV a while ago?
It rings a bell, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, and then there was these two guys. The one main guy, Kai, I think it's Kai Wong. I'm not sure, but he's got his own channel now. If never heard of it? No. Oh.
No. Sorry, I'm just too distracted by Jim's windows. I'm waiting for a mask to come up.
Yes. Yeah. Kai, he's gold. It's if you don't want to watch a boring review, is just comedy gold, and they just do stupid stuff, and it's hilarious. But yeah, definitely another recommended YouTube channel for the camera reviews.
I must admit, I'm a Frono.
Yeah, you're a Fro fan?
No, I'm not a Fro fan. I just watch the videos because he goes through a lot of cameras.
He does. He does review a lot of cameras, and I have to, as much as he's he's always slinging presets pretty hard.
Every video.
Every video, slinging those presets pretty hard. He does actually shoot in some real world situations. You know, like he shot at some proper sporting events and things like that. So I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all the other ones, like, you know, Chris Howe, Peter McKinnon, they just, you know, get stuff sent to them, and then they're just like, yep, sell this for us, pretty much.
Yeah, they're more vlog style and still like super entertaining. They know their stuff. They make great videos and things. But, you know, so you guys will know because I send you his videos all the time, trying to get Jim to change his business. Taylor Jackson, as far as like real world reviews and comedy gold mixed in together, he's pretty good. He just released a book about shooting 1,000 weddings. He shot 1,000 weddings.
Obviously might know a thing or two.
I think so. And he's also shot like snowboarding and stuff like that. And he goes on like travel and all sorts of things. So he's done a lot. He does a lot of hybrid coverage, video, photo. And he's shot with Nikon, Canon, and Sony and Fuji. So his like opinion, he doesn't do a heap of spec sort of stuff. Again, that's like, that's what the other guys are good at. But yeah, if he'll just sort of be like, I like this. I don't like this. Feels good. I like his stuff. Yelena doesn't even do photography, but she does enjoy Peter McKinnon's vlogs. You and the other 5.76 million people.
Yeah, he's quite entertaining.
Yeah,
I've not watched one since we had the office together.
Yeah, you're too busy working.
Yeah, we missed this one, Justin.
Oh yeah, Pentax just released a monochrome camera, the K3 Mono. We did talk about this last week. Any thoughts on how you think it might be received? An economical choice compared to Leica? I guess the hard thing is unless you're bought into the Pentax system, it's not an option. So it's like, unless you're going to buy some lenses and stuff. It would be cool if more camera brands did it, because how are any of us going to find out what the benefits are to these dedicated monochrome cameras without shooting one and seeing, like, if Canon brought out like an R5 monochrome, I would want to get my hands on it, shoot my R5, turn them into black and whites and be like, all right, what's the difference? Is it actually worth owning this camera specifically for that? So it's interesting. It's very cool that they did it, but I don't know how many they'll sell, because it's kind of, you know, buying into an older system like the Pentax system
too.
It's a niche just to get that one camera. If Sony released, like they had that R1, what was it? RXR1 crazy thing that was like 45. It was like the A7R3 sensor in a point and shoot body with a 35mm 1.8 lens on it or whatever, fixed lens. Hang on. I'll find it. But if they release one of those in a monochrome, that would be more likely to sell, because it's like all in one, you're just buying this one camera to do this one thing. Whereas with the Pentax, you've got to buy lenses and stuff as well. Where are we?
Also with was it Leica just released that new camera, but you know, as Frono says, it doesn't even come up with the Leica brand on it. So how is anyone meant to know that you shoot Leica?
Which is obviously the most important thing. These there was 2 series of them. You didn't see these when they come out? No. So it's like that. It's like a point and shoot fixed lens, kind of like the Fuji X100, but the lens is bigger, and the sensor was a lot bigger, but had a pop-up viewfinder. Where'd that go? How cool is that? But yeah, if they released a monochrome version of that would probably sell.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to heavily invest into something like that.
I don't think so.
It's more of a novelty, I think.
I mean, if you love black and white photography, if there are benefits, and they say that there's benefits, but I've never seen them. You know, it's really hard to, because every photo is different. I've seen tons of black and white photos taken on color cameras that look amazing. So,
you could definitely, you could make a business on only shooting black and white though. Like if you branded like that,
Yeah.
Like how many wedding photographers only post their black and whites?
Yeah, but if you were going to only shoot black and white, you'd definitely buy that Leica M11 monochrome for 15 grand. Kenneth says when he needs inspiration, he watches Kim Grant. I don't know who Kim Grant is, so I'll have
Again,
to.
I know the name, but I don't.
Yeah, I've heard that name before.
Kim Grant, former football player. I better do photography.
From maybe a different person.
Kim, she is if it's the right one, Visualizing Scotland, reconnecting
That'd
you
be
to
cool.
nature through the art of photography. I'll have to check her out.
Mm.
Very cool. Maybe one day she'll come on the podcast.
Thomas Heaton's pretty cool as well. He's pretty chill.
Yes. I was checking his stuff out today, actually.
Hmm.
Kenneth shoots Pentax. I have a K3, K5, Z1 spotty. I don't know what a spotty is, but not buying a mono just yet. Is it on your radar? The monochrome, like, did it excite you because it's part of your system and that would be, you could slot it straight in and it would be something different, or are you not into it?
Is that how they're
Astro
selling
though.
them? Like, is that how they're selling it? That, you know, if you're already in the system, you're sort of loving it, that it's kind of the novelty.
Yeah.
You know, like you remember like the Nikon DF? Was it DF? Remember that vintage camera that they bought out?
Yeah.
10, you know,
Which was more the style than anything, like the feel.
yeah, it's just a cool looking camera. You could buy like the cool looking 50mm lens. That looked old, but obviously was new tech.
Yeah.
It had dials and stuff like that.
Afternoon, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Good to see
Welcome.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, Scottish. I'll definitely check Kim Grant out. We'll get onto it.
But Kenneth was saying before he shoots Astro, so how would he go shooting black and white?
Black and white Astro. I haven't seen a lot of it.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask Richard when he comes on if it's something that he's done. I haven't seen him post much black and white stuff.
I think you're confusing Kenneth and Mick.
Oh, yeah, true.
Mick shoots Astro.
Oh, was it?
Kenneth shoots Pentax.
4 times the res
sorry,
with monochrome. That's what I've heard, and I just don't understand. Like, I know it's sharper because you don't have to separate into colors, but I'd need to see one. Like, I need to see them shot side by side so I can see the difference. That'd be cool. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone will do someone could do it with that M11. That'll definitely happen when the M11 monochrome gets in the hands of a few people and they test it just next to the standard M11.
Massive difference in price, though.
Between which?
Like the Pentax and the Leica.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, I mean side by side between the M11 Leica, the color normal one, and the M11 monochrome.
Yeah,
like a side by side comparison of just what are the benefits. I mean, there was an M10. There's probably someone that, Paul Henderson. Is it Dwayne Burr?
Yep, I reckon you're right.
Also loved watching photography online, was great. Hope they come back. We'll have to do some Googling.
Let's open up our eyes.
This is fun. Find more stuff to watch on YouTube instead of working. That's the sales pitch with mono Astro specific cameras.
Makes sense.
Interesting. But yeah, is it a sales pitch? Does it really get you any more joy? You know, is it any more fun? When I think of a monochrome camera, I think travel, makes you feel more creative, sort of locks you into that frame of mind, like shooting film. That's what I would want it for. And for me, that's got to be something that's not $10,000. You know?
Yeah, it's got to be a bit more accessible.
Yeah. And that's what the Fujifilm X100 was when I bought that. I sort of wanted it for that kind of thing. And what's sad is if they brought out a monochrome version of the Fujifilm X100, it would probably excite me, even though you can just put it in black and white mode.
Yeah.
I could just put it in black and white mode. It's like,
but I feel like that would make, makes you just as happy. But having it would be, it's kind of the end. Yeah, being able to only shoot monochrome.
This is interesting. This is from Zatnep1. Zatnep1.
Is that it?
They did a focus group in Japan about what the Pentax shooters there wanted, and about a quarter of them wanted a monochrome camera. Niche, yes, first batches sold out in 1 week.
That's huge.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's proof.
Which means we will be seeing some reviews coming out. That's awesome. Yeah, it'll be cool to see what people create with them. Kenneth, I would like the new Pentax mono, but we'll settle for color to black and white conversion for now and black and white film. In a few years, I'll check out the Pentax mono secondhand price. Yeah, good plan. Good plan. Yeah, no need to jump on it straight away.
Nah. Grab it secondhand and then you'll be able to just keep it.
Yep, exactly.
Are you tearing up little bits of paper, Grant?
I am.
Show us, what are you putting him in? How's this? So the competition, the competition is running. You're all ending up in the hat, in Grant's
They're all
hat.
in
So
there.
if you want a chance to win, just be nice to Grant. Talk to him in the comments.
This is my bit of paper right now.
You're doing well. It's a sophisticated operation that we run here.
Yeah, we are a big budget podcast.
Yeah,
Yes.
very high budget.
Speaking about that, we do have a Facebook group.
Oh yeah, we do have a Facebook group.
I think Grant dropped that in the comments earlier. So jump in there, say g'day.
Yeah, I don't know what the plan is with it. Just last week, some people said we should do it, so we did. Basically, whatever you guys tell us to do, we do. So
Yeah.
hit us.
You can drop some
drop that?
photos in there, bit of constructive criticism, or if you got questions about business, maybe upcoming photo walks, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean,
And like maybe what you want us to talk about too.
Yeah.
I would like to one day do, if we get enough people involved, it would be nice to do a photo, kind of like a critique show, like just put everyone's photos up, like a little bit of critiquing, just checking it out. Maybe they can jump in the comments about what they were trying to do with the photo or where they took it, that kind of thing. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
AJ Cooper, for anyone getting into photography with all the options with brands and sensor sizes, where would you start? Man, it is tough.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't
So-
do this to us.
So
Well, number one thing is budget. I think that's where you've got it.
and where you think it might go, I think is the
Budget
thing.
and what
It's
you want
like,
to shoot. Yeah.
do you
Yeah,
do you
end
think,
use.
Yeah, do you think maybe you'll head towards sort of photographing people, photographing landscapes, astrophotography? Like most of the cameras can do all of that, but there might be benefits, pros and cons. We talked a lot last week about the weight. There's some systems that are heavier and some that are lighter. And if that's important to you, if you're going to be doing a lot of traveling, a lot of hiking, might be better to just start off with a lighter system.
My shoulders are still sore from the weekend.
Did you carry the old school 70 to 200 around?
I did.
And
It was a rough
you
day.
didn't die though. You're okay.
Nah, I'm all good. Ready for this weekend.
Told you
So-
didn't need to buy those primes.
So what Grant is saying is he needs a dual lucky camera strap, Justin.
He's got a money.
Yes.
Oh, he's got a moneymaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not as comfortable as our prototypes.
Definitely not.
Not as comfortable as
I,
the dual lucky strap.
I haven't even seen the Lucky Strap one.
Well,
It's a secret.
yeah, there's only two in existence.
I'm trying to think of how we can answer this question well. Where would I start? Camera stores are useful if you're nearby a good camera store. There's people in there that will know the differences in specs and that kind of thing, be able to help you. But putting your hands on the cameras might also help you get an idea of what feels comfortable to you. But if you're fairly new to it, it's also going to be tough to know what feels good and what doesn't until you start learning what all the controls do. Look, in my opinion, you can't go wrong if you're going for more expensive stuff. So a full frame camera that could potentially produce sort of professional results. Can't go wrong with Canon or Sony. Can go wrong with Nikon. No, look, burn.
That's a bit rough.
I'm on the fence about Nikon. I don't know if I would recommend people choosing Nikon as a new system right now. if you're a Nikon shooter, I don't think you should jump systems necessarily. But I don't know if you could pick anything, why you would pick it over Canon or Sony. I don't see any advantages.
But if someone's getting into it, should they jump on like a digital SLR, or do you reckon go straight to mirrorless and just
straight to mirrorless for sure? Yeah. And yeah, so the choice would be for budget. You'd be like, all right, you're looking at maybe crop Canon stuff, the cheaper new like the R10 or whatever it is.
R8 looks cool.
R8 is a cheap camera for what it is, but that still might be too much depending on where you're starting. Fuji have a lot of really nice more budget cameras, and then the lenses are all the same across their system. That's the cool thing about Fuji. It's like they've got entry level crop sensor cameras, but then the lenses that you buy which still work with, you know, the XH2S and the top of the range crop stuff from Fuji. So Fuji would be a really good choice, I think, for getting into photography, which is why it's been so popular. But you might find one day wanting to make the jump to full frame. I don't know. I hope that helps in some way.
Yeah, it's such an ambiguous question. I think keeping focus on budget and end use.
Yeah. Mick Warren. Oh, this is about. About the monochrome.
Yeah.
You need to get filters to collect your different channels and edit all the different colors into one image. They say the pixels register light, but with color, it is 1 in 4. Yeah, so that's obviously, Yeah, that's how it was explained to me, but I still need to see a photo that shows me the benefit of monochrome cameras. Paul Henderson, I've got a 16mm, 35mm, and 50mm basic primes. Would you suggest an 85 or 135 lens for portraits and events? Go, Jim.
So go first. So I've shot with all of them. I had an 85, 35-85 early in my prime lens when I was crossing over. Then I went to a 135 and actually stepped back to a 105. And for me, that's the perfect length. I always found personally, the 135, I was always a step or two too close to that's my subjects. Whereas a 105 seems about right. I would, is there one in between? Is what it might be my question. If not, I'd probably go the slightly longer at 135.
Yeah.
Because you kind of got the 50. The 50 is very close to 85. I'd probably say go the 135 for now.
Yeah.
It's going to be, Like the Sigma 135s are beautiful.
Yeah. It depends on, I can't remember if you've mentioned, Paul, what system you're on. Because it probably depends what system you're on, what camera with what resolution sensor a little bit. Because if you can crop, if you're shooting with a high megapixel camera and you can crop a bit, like if you're shooting with a D850, an 85 does give you a bit of reach. You can crop that in. So that might be an option.
If you're shooting with a D850, you'd say shoot with a 105 1.4.
Exactly. Well, if you can afford it.
They're cheap now. Second hand, they're like just under $2,000.
Yeah, killer lens.
Beautiful lens.
But yeah, if I don't know, because the other option is, are you going to stick with primes for portraits and events? All primes, depending what system you're on. You could get a zoom to cover more of that. But yeah, for portraits, obviously 85 is industry standard. So is 135. You
can't go wrong with either, really.
No,
you're gonna be walking, I guess, just as much with either. I'd probably, if you would, with the current lenses, 3 lenses you have, I'd probably say go the 135 though.
Yeah, just
for that little bit more reach, and the 50 is very close to 85.
That's right, and the 135 will look a little bit more special with compression, stuff like that. Like you lay down on the ground and get a long shot or something like that. Canon with a Canon R6, so you don't have the megapixels really to like crop right in. Yeah, I think 135. Would you be getting the RF 135 that's insane, that's just getting released, or would you be getting the older 135 f2, which is still an awesome lens?
F2 is still good,
and I think a lot lighter. That's probably what I'd recommend. also, are you shooting with the just hijacking this whole thing just so I can talk about it? Are you shooting with the 16mm 2.8 and the 50mm 1.8, like when you say the basic primes, like the RF primes? Tell us.
Yeah,
because that's what I was shooting with today, and that was super fun.
I think like the 1.8 primes in a lot of systems do a great job.
Yeah.
They're definitely not that was 1.4, 1.2s, but they're still sharp. Like, I think if you're starting out there, or even not starting out, they're still good.
Yeah, Sony released a 1.4 G Master 50mm to go in between their 1.8 and their 1.2. And I kind of hope Canon do something like that, because like the 50mm 1.8 is good and I can shoot with it. I'm happy with it. The 50mm 1.2 was amazing, and I keep wanting to buy it, but it's so heavy and so expensive. I think it's $3,500.
There's a big there's a big difference in size, though, isn't there?
Yeah,
like
it's
like
950
big like the Nikon
grams. Not as big,
not that big,
not that big, but that old Nikon tank. But yeah, it's big. So it's like, give me a 1.4 that focuses fast, that's got weather sealing, that costs $1,500 or $2,000. Yeah, so you're shooting. Yeah, that's an awesome setup of lenses. So now, because you're on the RF system, if you are thinking about going insane, the 70-200 2.8 is an amazing portrait lens. If you could afford it,
and it's so light.
It's so light and it's flexible, really, really flexible for events. It would be a good complement to your primes. But if you're going to build a kit of primes, I don't know. I haven't looked too deeply into the 85. I think it's an 85 f2, the basic prime in the range, but I haven't heard great things about that. And then the 85 1.2s are giant, expensive lenses, but they're pretty amazing. So I don't know. I think that the 135, the EF 135, maybe could be a good option depending on what your budget is. Or 70-200 f 2.8 is pretty awesome. Shoot with it all the time.
It's a good lens. I've used it. I like it.
Yeah, but you're sticking with Nikon.
Maybe. Let's see.
Maybe. You were definite before.
Oh, I'm open.
Yeah.
It's going to be Canon or Nikon. There'll be no
Sony.
No Sony.
No, I don't think. I just don't think. Well, I need to pick one up. I don't think I would like the feel.
But you haven't held one in your hands.
And you're already going with that crappy attitude.
They've got two dials on the back now too. I really want to try one. I definitely want to try a Sony, but when I do dig into the specs as a hybrid camera, it sounds funny to say this because Sony was the best hybrid, mirrorless camera you could buy. The Canons do have a better balance of photo and video specs if you want to do both. Sony have some strange cropping in some of the modes in their video, whereas Canon doesn't crop in any video modes.
That's good.
So unless I might have to check out, I can't afford to get an A1 though. Maybe, the A7 IV or the A7 R5 I've been looking at, and I'm like, ooh, I could just test one.
That was probably the most frustrating thing, trying to shoot video with a D at 50. That if you'd shoot slow-mo, it would it would just crop. So you suddenly couldn't shoot wide.
You got and that's the thing with the Sonys. You've got to be thinking about it all the whole time, like what mode you're going to be in. So for hybrid, it's really sort of confusing. Whereas, on the R3, I don't think about that at all. I only use crop mode in video when I want extra reach if I'm shooting with a certain lens. So, I don't know. Kenneth, what is happening with film production around the world? As soon as stock's in, it sells out straight away. I look at walk-ins, out of stock for many films, 35 for 120. Honestly, I don't know, and it seems to be getting worse and worse.
It's back in.
Is it?
It's pretty cool with hipsters and stuff, I guess.
No, you mean back in style or back in stock?
Style.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I know that.
That's cool
I
that
just-
people, shooting film
That's
now.
why.
Yeah, but it has been. I think there's more and more manufacturers, like more and more issues with getting it made, combined with increased demand. I don't know. It seems strange. You'd think it wouldn't be hard to scale up manufacturing if the demand's there, but maybe they're trying to sort of control supply and demand so it's not, so they don't sell out and then next month no one wants to buy any or whatever. Honestly, I don't know.
It's just the latest trend.
It's been popular for a while.
Yeah.
Now. Like 3 or 4
There's
years.
a few people.
At least.
Yeah, a few people I follow. They're like always got a film camera on their side.
Yeah,
and they'll have like dual accounts.
One for film.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where it gets a bit funny too, because it's like people want you to know that they shot it on film because the photo's not quite as good as it would have been if they'd shot it with a modern camera.
Yeah.
And it's weird. I love shooting film, but I've gone off it a little bit now because it's gotten a bit harder to get stuff developed and, like I said, harder to get film. I've got 3 or 4 rolls in the fridge ready in case I want to dust off the Nikon film cameras. Where are they?
What lenses you still got for that?
I think I've only got one 35mm, but you've got plenty. It's come knocking on your window.
Yeah. That's where the Gorilla Suit.
Yeah, I've still got the F. So I've got the F5, which was super fun, but I've still got the F100, which is in at the office as well.
Talking about suits, I reckon. Here we go.
Oops.
Oh, what happened there? Sorry.
Do I buy a Ghillie Suit for a secret proposal? Only if
Not
you
secret anymore.
Yeah. Only if you tell them that you're going to do that, because otherwise you might end up getting beaten up or something.
Is that like one of those like SWATs, like the Navy SEAL
snipers.
suits?
Yeah.
Probably not, Jeremy. Just be really sneaky.
Yeah. You got to sneak in. Got to have it planned. Have a route. Watch out for sticks. It's always in the movies. It's always a stick that you step on that snaps.
Yeah, and do things like get them to play music so that any outside noises, like yourself, is masked. Have a clear hidden path in.
Yeah, come from downwind. Otherwise, they'll smell you coming. Oh no, it's wildlife.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Let us know how it goes. What else? Another DJI drone.
More.
And then
Another.
Jeremy's put off film because has to develop it every day. So Jeremy works in Camera House in Bendigo. So that's fair enough.
He's our professional camera man. Grant, are you buying a new drone?
I'll wait till I buy a new camera first, I think.
Yeah, probably a good idea. I'm actually kind of happy. This drone does look really good. This is the new Mavic 3 Pro. I shoot with the Mavic 3 Classic. So mine has one camera. I think this one. This has 3 cameras. And then there's a Mavic 3 Nothing in the middle. So there's the Classic, the Nothing, and then the Pro. The Nothing has two cameras. This has 3. So it's basically got 24mm, 70mm, and 160 something mil. And I think it'll be.
Yeah. Was it 116?
160, I thought.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was at 16. Sorry.
I could be wrong. We could scroll down and find out. Triple lens, 24mm, 70mm, 166 equivalent, 7 by optical zoom, f3.4. But yeah, so they think that people are sort of saying it's usable, like much more usable than the telephoto lens on the Mavic 3, as opposed to the Mavic 3 Pro. But they reckon the medium tally, the 70mm, is really good, very usable. But what I'm happy about is the camera. The main camera is the same as the camera in the drone. They haven't updated that camera compared to my drone. So now I don't feel like I'm missing out, and I don't have to sell my drone and get a new one.
To get
So
it,
it's nice.
Because you're not going to use 116.
Oh no, I would love to.
Sorry,
use
166.
I'd love to use the 70.
Yeah.
If we were shooting in more open situations, but yeah, you need to be in an open situation to really make use of that 70. I hit trees as it is. If I was trying to shoot with a 70mm lens, I'm going to be hitting trees all day. So
Yeah.
Well, I watched Chris Howe on his review on it, and he crashed it when he was on the 166 because he said just depth of field's right out. But he said he crashed it and it kept flying, and then he got it up again. So,
I crashed mine the other day. It kept flying. Will thought it was going to hit him in the face, and it just like stabilized itself and kept going. It was cool.
Yeah, that's good.
That's awesome.
I'm very impressed with the ability to crash and then not go down.
You crash a lot. That's great.
I crash a lot. It's hard. Shooting mountain biking in trees is not as easy as people would think.
And dense trees too. They're not like quite very open. They're very random Australian bush.
Plus, I don't think I've played a video game for 20 years. You know, I don't have the thumb.
Did they have video games when you were a kid, Justin?
That was just a joystick, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had Game Boys. You wouldn't understand, Jim, but you had to put like a hard disc into it. It wasn't just, you didn't just download the game. You
really?
like buy a physical disc and you had to slide it into the game thing.
Like a Nintendo.
Yeah, like a Nintendo. You just see one of them. Did you see them at a museum?
I had them when I was a kid.
Sure you did.
He also said he flew at like 1K in the air, then 10K away without any breakup with his controller.
That's a long way.
That is a very long way.
Unfortunately, that's completely useless for us here in Australia because it's highly illegal.
Yes.
Which I was talking to a lovely gentleman about drone licensing this week. I've learned a little bit more about drone licensing. I think I might get him on the show to try and explain some stuff to people because it's very confusing.
Is that
basically
text?
No, he does. I don't think he does licensing, like training. So basically, from what I understand now, I'll probably still get my license. I definitely am correct in that I don't need a license to do what I'm doing. I don't need a license to fly my drone to make money because it's under 2 kilos. You need it to be able to fly in certain proximities. You need it to be able to do anything. If you want to be able to do anything where you have to get approval from CAS or anything like that, you need a license. I personally need a license to be able to use it at the alpine parks, but that's not a law. That's just because they're privately run alpine parks like Mount Hotham snow fields. So they can dictate what their requirements are. And your insurance is a lot safer. Insurance is a grey area without a license, and that's scary.
Yeah,
I think an insurance company would.
Does it still have to be registered, though?
Yes, absolutely. You have to register. Yep. And also, if anyone's listening to this, please don't take my word for it. Go on the internet, go to CASA and Google it. But you definitely have to register your drone, and you have to get a registered ARN operator's certificate or an ARN as well. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's a few things that you need to do regardless of what drone you're flying.
And you got to pay now too, don't you? $40 or $20?
Oh, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe
you should look into it.
100% sure. Traveling in New Zealand recently, plenty of sites with no drones allowed. Is this the same in Australia? Not as many as New Zealand, but it definitely is a thing. Yeah, but
just depends where.
Yeah,
I've even seen like at the beach, like lifeguards finding someone who's flying a drone over the beach and being like, "You can't do that here."
But no, when I went to New Zealand, I did not. It was in a lot of spots. So it's happening more and more, obviously, as it becomes a problem. So yeah, make sure you check your zones. And the other thing is, it doesn't. The no drones allowed areas aren't always in the DJI map. So you can't rely on the DJI map. They're really good with like airports and stuff like that, but I know some of the alpine parks and stuff because they're not. Yeah, they weren't on the DJI like lock zones and things. Paul Henderson can remember using a tape drive to load games, then floppy disks back in the last century. Yeah, I never had the tape drive, but yeah, floppy disks. And then, yeah, it was once we got to CD-ROMs, it was a game changer.
Yeah.
Way better.
700 megabyte. Wow.
Yeah, you could store so much stuff. The graphics got so much faster. The sounds were better.
Good times.
Good times.
So Yelena actually thought Jeremy was going to propose in the suit.
Maybe he is.
Maybe.
Do we know for sure yet?
How sneaky are you trying to be, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Are you going to sneak up and propose on the
surprise.
slide?
I'm happy Elena's comments are getting read out tonight too.
Yeah, last week was a disaster.
We got there in the end.
We just missed it.
Not today.
Not today. What else? What else has been happening other than back and forth about buying cameras? I don't know why.
I shot a wedding.
Oh yeah, you shot a wedding. How was your wedding? We asked about Grant's. We didn't care about yours. You shoot him all the time.
You did ask, but then we just moved on afterwards. Yeah. It was good. I actually had a really good wedding. 2 grooms, and it was really fun. They had a good day, and it was
it a big
wedding?
wedding?
Actually, just normal size. They did something different though. So I've shot at this venue, I don't know how many times, countless, like maybe 50 times.
Which venue?
Is that the one up the road?
Yeah, the one up the road. So it's the closest venue to my house. It's called Chatterdorey in Mandurang, just out of Bendigo. And for every wedding, the ceremony is generally always in the same spot. It's in a little garden, which if it's overcast is amazing. If it's sunny, it gets a really dappled light through the trees, which it looks nice during the day, but on camera, it's really hard to photograph. You kind of got to just meet in the middle of the exposure of compensating for both people and hoping for the best. I have been talking for a couple of years about trying to switch the ceremony around, and yeah, this couple did it. They went the reverse ceremony location, so the sun was behind them, and it looked awesome.
It looked way better.
It looked way better.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So is that where the part where you walk in normally?
Yes. So they were about 5 steps in front of that. They had some like pretty epic florals standing up by like a local florist, and then there's like a new path that's coming from the back, so it makes it really easy to come down the aisle, and it was really good. And for light wise, it's definitely a game changer.
Awesome. It only took you that long. Now, if you could help them improve,
it's taking me a long time to
indoor lighting setup.
Yeah, we're working on that. It's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda. Yeah, that's the only place I'll need the Lightroom AI Denoise.
Yeah, it's very dark.
I'm excited about that Denoise for creative editing. It was fun playing with these photos. So
I think if the person's head's not too big, I think it
like yours.
Yeah, like it worked pretty well. Like the shots of Will looked awesome, and like the shot of Dan was great, like in the mine.
Yeah.
For those, like it's gonna potentially make your life a lot easier.
No, it will not.
Why?
Because it takes you have to create a DNG for every file. I forgot to mention that.
It's okay. You didn't tell me the process. You just made it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you want me to show you one?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
I thought it was just like you just hit it.
Boom, done.
Yeah.
Let's do one live. A live. That's not it. Come on. There we go. I forgot to show you this one actually. This was a fun one because it when you denoise it and then crank it up, you get this really clean, crispy rippling of that. On the regular one, it's sort of like that.
It's quite noisy through that CFA uniform.
And then crazy, right?
It's crazy you can crank the clarity up that much, but it hasn't ruined the image at all.
It's like the clarity is the secret weapon to making the denoise cool for certain photos. It's over processed for sure, but for that style
For
image,
that
they're a
image,
marketing image.
Yeah.
Like look at that versus that for making it pop. Whereas before I was scared to push it because of the noise. What do we got here? I mean that doesn't have a lot of noise in it. But also if I wanted to push this, like if I wanted to push the shadows, we get a lot of noise. So look at that. Banding, noise.
Yeah.
Don't know what's going to happen here. Let's bring those shadows back down a bit. It's not a lot of... Let's see. So basically you go to the noisy bit and you hit denoise. It does this for a little while.
Cool.
I'm not sure why the preview...
Of death.
Well, but also the preview screen is pretty clunky as well. It's like, why isn't it the same interface as Lightroom as the rest of Lightroom?
It's probably because it's a Photoshop thing. That looks like a Photoshop.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Screen to me, anyway.
And it always zooms in too at the start. That annoys me.
Yeah, and it's a very close zoom in to a part of the photo that's usually not relevant, which is pretty standard for Lightroom. It's like the way to do their spot removals.
Yeah, I think I tried it on the wedding that I just shot, and it just kept zooming in on like the grass. I'm like, I don't care about the grass.
So yeah, this is going fast. As you can see, we won't be doing this to every wedding photo.
No.
For an entire night.
No.
Yep. So we've zoomed in on a little bit of stuff. So you can zoom out, but then it's teeny, and then you go, all right, what's going to be a good reference point for me? Maybe this helmet here is kind of handy. So then if you click on it, you can see without enhance, with enhance. But that's when if you're just looking at this bit, you're like, oh yeah, I need to crank it right up, but don't. So
just leave it at halfway.
Look, halfway is a pretty intense effect. 10 to 20 is probably where you want to try if it's for people, like for say people with face expressions and stuff like that. If it's this dude in a helmet, it's all good. Let's do 50. We go enhance. And then, and so now it's actually creating a DNG file. So we'll have a separate file, which a DNG is a different format of raw file. It's still super flexible. You can still edit it. It's a more universal standard than like a CR3, like Canon or Nikon specific raw file. So it creates that. It's just done that and put it in a stack. So now we've got two photos down the bottom here, the before and the after. Let's just put that into...
So you'd want to do that last, pretty much.
Before you do any... they're recommending do it before any masking or spot removals or other AI stuff. But otherwise, before...
So, edit everything, do that.
Yeah, that's what they're recommending.
Yeah, okay.
So let's have a look in here. Yeah, so look at that, nice and clean.
Wow, look at that torchlight. That's insane.
Yeah. So for these kind of images, I've found it's useful. It definitely gets rid of some grittiness and sort of realness, but it crisps them right up as well. So it's it depends on the purpose. But for marketing images like these, I actually think, and these were all shot. These weren't this wasn't a stage shoot. This was live rescue training with fire and stuff. And I was just shooting it. So that's why there's not heaps of lighting and stuff involved. But if we now go to develop.
Did you crank the clarity yet or not?
That's what I mean. No. So now we've just cleaned it up, but now you've got this flexibility to do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
And we're getting a little bit of banding in there, but could back that off a bit, maybe drop the shadows a touch. And then
I'll have to show the client these photos and they might be to re-edit them.
Maybe. I was supposed to have a shoot. I was supposed to have a shoot tomorrow, actually. So now comparing that to the previous one, it's a lot darker because we haven't cranked if we crank the clarity in this to the same amount, it's messy as banding. So.
Wow. Yeah, that's on this. It's obviously very small on my screen, but it looks.
I know you guys probably can't see it very well, but anyway, anyway, it's slow, but that's what I've been doing today, just playing around with it. Let me see here. There was a few questions coming up.
There was.
Paul Henderson, I tried to do about a batch of 70 photos using Lightroom Denoise, and about halfway through my power supply blew. Not sure if that was the cause, but it used heaps of power. Wow. So AI killed your power supply. Man.
That's a
I guess
video.
if you batch it,
video title.
And hey, they're saying AI is going to take over the world. It started with Paul's laptop. It definitely is. It seems intensive, doesn't it? Like and it's not something you're going to want to do. So for the batch, did you apply? You must have. I haven't tried it on a batch. I've only been doing it on single images, playing around. So I'll have to do a test.
See how it goes on a batch.
Yeah,
I'll do a test between now and last week.
When I first done it, all my photos from the wedding were selected. You know, when it like selects it, but you can still go through on Lightroom. Then I click denoise. Like they're still like highlighted. I obviously didn't deselect all the photos. Click denoise, and it was taking forever. And I was like, what is going on? So you must be able to denoise every single photo at once, whatever's selected.
Yeah, right.
Which is probably why.
Good to go.
Yeah, but that would take a long time.
Yeah, which is probably why what happened, like blew the power supply. Use a lot of power.
Mick Warren, do you guys use any other editing software other than Lightroom and Photoshop? No, but
we don't even really use Photoshop even.
Don't even use Photoshop. I've been a Lightroom user since I switched from Aperture, Apple's Aperture that they used to have.
What was that?
Back in the day? It was their Lightroom. It was actually really good.
That would have been a long time ago though.
Yeah, it was a while. I mean, it was
10
basically
years probably.
I shot I edited my first wedding on it, I think, very first, and then it got basically discontinued. And everyone at that point, everyone was saying Lightroom was better anyway. So I was already kind of looking at Lightroom, and then Apple said we're going to stop supporting it. I've still got an Aperture catalog on my computer, like backed up. I'm not sure why.
Oh, cool. I wonder if you can you open it?
I don't think so.
No, because you're in a program.
Yeah, I don't know. But Photoshop almost never, and Lightroom. But I'd like to try some other stuff. What should we try? Lars said he still uses Capture One, and he really likes the files. I mean, Canon has a RAW converter. I've been interested to try that just to see the RAW conversion. What do you use, Grant?
I'm just Lightroom, Photoshop.
Yeah.
Also, Mick Warren is our first member in our Facebook group.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Nick, thanks.
Yeah. I've had a look at his profile, and he's got a pretty cool bit of an astro photo for his profile picture.
Oh, nice.
Jump in the group and have a look.
Check out some of his astrophotography soon.
Yeah.
Darktable. Slowly teaching myself Darktable. What's Darktable? And Mick had to play with Darkroom. Are they the same thing or are they different? Oh, Darktable. Okay. So what's Darktable? I'll have to find out.
Yeah, I do not know.
Darktable. Darktable versus Lightroom. Okay, I'll be checking this out.
Ooh.
I'll come back to you guys next week.
Is it cheaper?
Oh, it's free, I believe.
Really?
Maybe. And have we ever used DxO Raw? No, I haven't.
No.
I've read bits and pieces about it, but it's never proposed a good enough upgrade in terms of or whatever you would call it, a reason to change. You know, I sort of it's been like you're shooting Canon and Sony have released a cool camera and it's good, but it's not worth changing for me and from Lightroom. So I've never played with DxO Raw. The only thing I've played with is plugins. Which, what are they called now? I think Google bought them. If you guys ever used a plugin called like Silver Effects Pro?
No.
What's it called?
while you're looking up that, so Lauren said, "Isn't Photoshop considered vintage now?" And I think,
yeah, probably.
I reckon. Welcome back, Lauren. Too.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Lauren was in last week.
Yeah, OG.
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah, I would consider it vintage. And I was chatting to a local photographer the other day, and they were still editing in Photoshop. I was like, jump on Lightroom, just try it. It'll seriously change your life. And they finally did after many years of trying to convince them.
Now it's all coming back to me. So Nik Effects, which, yes, they were owned by Google for a while, but I think they've been bought by DxO, and that's what reminded me of, so let me just, the Nik Collection.
There we go. Scott Brace jumped in the group.
Hey, Scott. Yes, Nik Effects. Where are we? Share screen. Nik. So yeah, I used these a fair bit a while ago, and then Lightroom got a lot more powerful with gradients and stuff like that. And yeah, I actually, this is exciting me to get back into silver effects. It was never an option for weddings. It's because like plugins are kind of the same, where they create a JPEG or a TIFF or whatever, and then you're working off the raw, then creating something with a plugin, then bringing it back into Lightroom, and it's kind of slow. But when you're just working on one photo at a time to do something cool, the plugins were really fun. The black and white conversions were definitely a lot better. So yeah, color effects. I used to use that all the time. You could change parts of the photo, which Lightroom just didn't have that then, I don't think.
Well, it's even now, like, it's still frustrating sometimes trying to...
Oh, I don't know. You seen the masking now? It's crazy.
Yeah, but I'd love to be able to, like, HSL mask. So I could, like, tweak my skies and adjust just my skies.
You can now. They just put curves. You can't do HSL, but they just did curves.
Oh, I just want HSL.
In the latest, you can do it with curves. In the newest update, you can now mask and apply curves. And curves have RGB, anyway. Yeah. Silver Effects Pro is great. I use Affinity and DxO PL4. I don't know what DxO PL4 is, but yeah, I'm going to have to try some of this stuff again. Now that I'm not doing as many sort of, like as much volume of work, there's a chance to actually test some stuff. Whereas I'm guessing Jim's probably thinking, I'm not trying any of this stuff. I got my system.
I got a
process, and I'm got to get through the process.
I don't have time at the moment to change the process. Maybe in winter.
Lauren O'Brien, I did an auto delete for a water bottle in the background on Canva for content for a client today. Whoop whoop, good job.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's even like that photo I done on the iPhone off your photo of the camera today.
Oh yeah, and it just cut it out.
I literally clicked on the photo and it like instantly just like made a little thing around the camera, and I just accidentally pressed copy, and then I was like, oh, I'll see what this does. Press paste, and just pasted like that without the background. Everything's just getting too crazy.
Yeah, well,
I've been loving Canva for the thumbnails for this channel.
I heard Canva's good for reels.
Yeah.
I tried making one in there ages ago, and
I made one in there, but no one watched it. So, yeah.
Justin, you love Canva. I've been trying to get you into Photoshop to do stuff, and you just...
Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I go into Photoshop and I just freeze up. I'm like, there's too much. I can't handle it. All the tools are really small, and none of them do what you think they do. It'll be like a paintbrush, and you pick it and it cuts something out, and you're like, that doesn't even make sense. And someone goes, oh yeah, that's the lasso tool, and you're like, oh, what does that do? Paints things. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know who invented Photoshop, but I think they wanted to make it more like a puzzle.
Yeah, I use it a fair bit for the landscapes, but I won't only use it to cut people out if I'm doing wedding photos.
Yeah.
You could be making your thumbnails.
I could be, but I don't have time.
Oh,
some of us have real-time jobs, Justin.
Yeah. They just sell camera straps for a living.
It's good for intros for reels, but
Yeah.
CapCut for reel
Yeah.
creation. Okay,
CapCut's the go.
Okay.
I'll try CapCut.
It's just an
Thanks.
app for your phone.
Thanks for the
Oh,
gold
well.
tips.
Yeah.
Might have to jump on that too. Might make it easier for me to be more motivated for reels.
No, we came up with a plan for your reels, Jim, where you'll get paid to make them. Hybrid
And
photo
if-
video coverage.
Yeah.
If you make them in CapCut, you don't get like the stupid watermarks if you do, like when you make it in Instagram and stuff.
Yep.
If you want to put it to like other social platforms.
Yeah.
Socials. We're so pro at socials.
Yeah, we are.
It's also-
not the social media podcast.
When I was looking at all these photos to use for testing out the denoise, I was like, I should probably post more. Because these were just photos that had high ISO noise. And I'm like, these are pretty good. I should probably put them on my Instagram.
Yeah. I've just started posting again. It's my
I noticed that.
couple of posts this
Did
week.
you?
Bringing back the feed.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
done.
That's to
So-
your other account though, not the Justin and Jim one.
Oh, great. If you jump on Justin and Jim, you'll see a post went up just before this podcast went live.
Oh, sorry.
Minutes.
But I'm talking about the motorbike ones that you put up.
Yeah, I've been posting them.
Yep.
I've got a strange addiction at the moment to Fujifilm gear, and I don't have any other than one little camera, but one X100. The
Safe
original
space.
one.
You can talk about it here.
But I keep looking at them. I can't stop looking at them. And they've got this one called the X-Pro3, and it doesn't even have a screen. Have you ever shot with my X100, Jim? Probably.
Yeah, I reckon I did in Cambodia.
Oh, yeah. You might not remember, but the optical view, there's a viewfinder that changes from optical to EVF. So it can be either for mirrorless, or, like it can be either a simulated, view, or it can just be optical like a DSLR. But it's not a DSLR. So the optical viewfinder is more like it's wider than what you're taking a photo of, and then there's like a frame line of the photo.
Rings a bell.
And I love it. It's just so, because you can see more.
And
than
just
what
kind
you're
of
taking.
work out what you want.
Yeah, so you can frame the shot with the frame line.
That's
I really
cool.
like it. And yes, I keep looking at this X-Pro3, but I think it's been out for like 3 or 4 years. So I'm like, I'm sure it'll get updated if I was to buy one. But let me bring it up. The other cool thing that appeals to me is they've released a tiny little lens for it. So it would be, where is it? X-Pro3. So it would be small. You could almost fit it in your pocket. But the coolest thing is the back of it doesn't have a screen unless you open it. So like by default, you're just looking at this. And it does this for what film simulation you're using.
That's pretty cool.
So it's like, and then if you want to see the screen, you got to open it up.
Oh, but it doesn't flip back, so you can't like spin it around and just have a
Just
screen.
flips down.
No, you just got to shoot it like it's a film camera. I love
That's
it.
pretty cool. That's
I
really
really, really like the idea of it, but it doesn't have a lot of the things that I'd like to have in a camera. So I don't think it could be like my only camera.
no. What are they worth?
$2.5 grand.
Okay.
But
Is that
yeah,
with
there's
like that lens, or then you got to buy that?
No. You'd have to get a lens. I think that's the lens that I would get. But look, see how nice and small that lens. So it's like a compact little thing.
Maybe that's like your personal camera.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm.
Either that or I get this Ricoh GR3 that we were talking about the other day. DigiDirect.
No. We do not recommend.
Oh, look. Hey,
Good sales.
There were some nice people there, but it's no longer somewhere that I like to do a lot of shopping at.
Hey, I had a question. I just had a thought. It's about lighting, mainly for mainly for the podcast. But so we spoke about it early in the podcast. I'm actually using an iMac. I've got a laptop as well, but I'm using my iMac to light me. Could I set up a grid on that to try and light, or just even if I put a hood around it to try and spread it less?
Yeah, you would need a grid. Are you trying to? Is it because you're trying to create like the shadow that I've got going on here? Is that what you want?
No,
some of this?
No, not so much. Because I can trim this down a bit. I can like turn it, but then I feel
that's just reducing your
Because also my front light is quite bright, so I probably need to turn that down too.
We might need to denoise you.
Yeah, maybe put some AI denoise on you.
No, I think I probably just need to get a camera and a light.
That'd be good. I mean, you've got cameras.
I need to look at maybe that's the D780 might get useful.
I've actually got a Lars who I interviewed on Monday, and you can watch it.
You've got a Lars
YouTube. Lars, he emailed me today. I didn't get a chance to reply to him, but he wanted to know what my mic and stuff setup is. So I'll have to let him know. But also, I'm going to be upgrading because we got to get the Procaster 2 so we can take phone calls. It's happening. Mick Warren loves his Fujifilm X-T20 and X-T2. Yeah, and then the XTs are cool, but they're not as cool as this X-Pro3, but they're a lot more functional. Like the X-T5 is like way more of a all-rounder camera that you could actually do everything with. And then I look at that, and then I'm like, wow, it almost does everything, but the XH2S does everything. And then I look at the XH2S, and then I look at all that, and then I'm like, wow, I might as well just shoot with my Canon stuff. And then I end up back there. That's the loop that I go on.
That little Fuji, I mean, yeah, you were just like speaking another language then to me.
Yeah, so that's what my brain's like.
Yeah,
that's how gear goes.
Yeah.
Jeremy's been shooting with a Fujifilm GFX 50S2 or whatever it is, and I had my hands on it the other day. It's pretty nice. It's very nice, but too slow for sports. Very nice for landscapes and portraits and studio work.
Kenneth, looking at a new screen soon. Currently have the BenQ 1080 VA panel, 12 years old. Looking at affordable. So Justin and I both, both bought new screens probably in the last. Or yours is probably 2 years old. Mine's probably coming on 12 months old.
Yep.
So I bought an Asus Pro Art. What is it?
Let me see if I
think it's a 3200. Asus Pro Art 3200 maybe. And it was pretty good. Is that a thing?
Didn't you have lots of problems with yours?
No, I think maybe.
This one. I think.
Which one?
We're working on it. We're just sorry if anyone's listening. We're like Googling stuff for Canon because part of what we do here is suggest things that people should buy because then we don't have to buy stuff. So we suggest what people might want to buy. I'm just trying to see if this is similar to what I got. I've got a 32-inch BenQ, and it was an older model, which made it a lot cheaper, which was good. It just didn't have Thunderbolt or anything. But what I can't see is if it's 100% sRGB. Yeah, it is 100% sRGB. Yeah, 100% Rec 709. Look, this thing at a quick research, 27-inch 2K USB-C with good color. Might
yours
do the
2K?
job. No. This is a different option.
But
it's a similar series to what I got. Mine's a 4K 32-inch. But for $500, maybe something like that, or maybe get the 4K version if you can swing it. But yeah, it does like the vertical thing, if you want to go vertical. I don't know. But yeah, I have to say, I did have a lot of trouble with my USB hub on mine. I don't use it anymore. It just didn't. it kept dropping out and stuff like that. So I actually have a proper hub for my MacBook Pro, a Thunderbolt hub. The one that was built into the monitor just didn't seem to work properly with hard drives and stuff. So be wary of that if you think it's going to be an all-in-one solution, unless it's a really expensive monitor with a really good hub. You might have problems. But
mine was good, like really good. So I'm running the Asus Pro Art 32-inch one, 4K. It's about $1,000, give or take, and it was working really well with a Thunderbolt cable. And then the original Thunderbolt cable broke, and then haven't been able to get it to work properly since. It's running now, but I can't run through the hub or anything like that, which is frustrating. Because that was the whole reason I bought this one over this, essentially the same model as Justin's.
Yeah. So same kind of issue, I guess. Hubs are never as good when they're built into monitors. I mean, my hub was $500.
Yeah,
but
it's obviously awesome.
It's great. Yeah.
It
does. I've got one cord that goes into my laptop, and then everything comes off that hub.
Yeah.
It's fast and does it all.
I think it's time I almost get one, I reckon.
Yeah. If you
it's
can afford
frustrating
it
me having
after that Z8 comes out, you can afford it. I think we're going to have to do a trip soon, but you guys are very busy.
Bright?
When? I think, sometime in May, I guess.
May? I'm good for May.
End of May, apparently, Pineapple Express is on.
Yeah, I can't that weekend because we're going to Queensland for the Torian Pro.
Yep.
You should know.
I should know.
Are
you going, Jim?
To which one?
The Torian.
Not at this stage. I need to have a look at the dates seriously.
But yeah, we should do a trip, and I want to test out what. I think we could do a good little camera review field test where we test a few cameras at once and put them through their paces for landscape, portrait, sports, and maybe I feel like it would be good to try and do astro, but it's very weather dependent.
Yeah, Mount Buffalo would be really cool.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be fun to put 3 or 4 similar but different cameras through the same set of tests?
Yeah.
Cool.
You later.
Dark Mofo, Tasmania in June. Oh yeah, I've heard about such a thing. Let me check that out. And yeah, Pineapple Express is the weekend before Torian. Right, that's why I can't go, because I can't do the 2 weeks in a row. Can't make it work.
Sure. Your boss doesn't let you have any days off?
No, I've got a dog, a very needy dog.
True. Yeah.
So yeah, we should try and get away and do it in
May. May.
Pineapple Express actually would have been a good weekend to do a test. Use the mountain bikes for the sports.
We can just shoot ourselves.
Yeah, I know. It'd be better just have people just coming past.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I'm sure if we went up there anyway, it kind of might be like that.
Probably.
They just might be a bit freaked out just with us 3 up there.
3 cars in the same spot.
Yeah. Yes, Ted, my dog, is the boss. And lucky trip.
Yeah.
Maybe Jeremy. Maybe.
How many photographers do we need?
Yeah, that's right. Well, we might maybe if
Jeremy shoot
could,
content.
If Jeremy could,
can you shoot video? Yeah, can you shoot video, Jeremy?
Come and film us. I don't know if anyone's picked up by now, but Jeremy does also work with us at Lucky Camera Straps. He's often packing straps, embossing straps, or taking photos of things when he's not doing other camera things. So, yeah. Yeah. What else? What haven't we talked about?
Jeremy can try.
We've got a lot of gear coming out, but I think it's going to slow down. Obviously not the Z8, but it seems like they've launched a heap of stuff over that NAB show, and it's probably going to stop for a little while. So we might get a little bit of relief on wanting to buy new things. But I got to sell some new things. That's what I need to do. I got to sell my old GoPro. I got to sell my audio recorder. I've ended up with a whole heap of things that I don't use anymore. But your stories of scammers on Marketplace haven't excited me to list anything.
So I haven't got a scammer for my D750 yet. I'm disappointed.
You haven't? I think I got about 5 more today.
It's too
really?
old, Grant. They don't want that.
So if anyone was tuning in last week, I think did we speak about it on the podcast, or was it just us?
No.
So both people were scammers.
The last couple that you showed us, and you were sort of like, "Is this legit?" It wasn't.
And yes, I'm trying to sell my D780. I'm getting offers on it now, which is good, like legit Australian offers.
Are you sure?
Everyone's offering 1,500, and I've got it currently listed at about 2,000. And I just think 1,500. That's like Grant's listing his D750 for 1,300.
Yeah, and he hasn't even had a scammer respond to it.
1,000.
That's how overpriced.
1,000. I thought it was 1,300.
Put it down. 1,000.
Oh, you tried to sell it to me for 1,300.
Then you weren't interested.
That's why, because you had it on for 1,300.
Oh, 1,000?
That's funny.
Keen? Do you want to park it in your driveway for the night?
In the garage. You got to put it in the garage.
Selling secondhand gear is, it's painful. It is painful. Yeah. Unless every now and then, though, you meet someone online, like they message you or whatever, and you're like, oh, they're on my level. Because they message the same way. They're just like, hey, interested in this. Yep. You're keen. I can drive to you or whatever. And it's just easy peasy. But yeah, until that person comes along, all the other ones are painful.
Yeah.
Just like, So good luck with that. And
I'll keep you updated.
I'm looking around, and there is stuff that I do need to get rid of that I've been.
How old is your oldest GoPro, Justin?
9.
Yeah,
not that old.
Go on, yeah.
I had a clear out. Honestly, not that long ago, I had a heap of them, but I put them all in a box and listed it all for $150 with every mount I could find. Oh yeah, I had one of them. I think I've got Tony's. I had a 3S. Was it a 3S? 3 something. 3
plus.
3 plus. That was it. Yeah, and I had it in a 4 case. I upgraded the case to a 4 because the case got.
I think I had one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got rid of that, and then like $1,000 worth of GoPro, just paraphernalia, just like every mount and stick and everything I could find. I put it all in a box, and I was like $150.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
So
GoPro sucks you in. They put up all this good footage, then you try to do it, and it does not look the same.
No, you need good lighting and good editing, but the quality is good. I mean, it's really good. That new 11 is really, really good, but it's not a big enough difference to the 9 that you would change unless you're trying to match footage. That's the main reason. The 10-bit footage lets me manipulate it a little bit if it's like slotted into a video and it looks so different that I want to try and make it match. 10 bits a bit easier for me to work with.
Yeah.
So,
well,
speaking of video,
okay. Sorry, no, go.
Oh,
you go.
Well, I've got some guests coming on the show soon. Hopefully.
Oh, nice.
Some of the boys from Hebron are keen. I don't know if I'm going to get them all on at once or separately, but they're all video guys with different skill sets. So that'll be fun because basically it's going to be they don't know this. Hopefully they're not listening, but it's basically just going to be me getting free information off them. So I'll just be asking them questions, everything I can ask them about a photographer wanting to learn video for like 1 to 2 hours. That's why I think I'll do them all separately because then I get 3 to 6 hours of free information,
knowledge.
And it's recorded as well, so you can just watch it back.
I'll timestamps so I can reference it. It's going to be good. So anyone that's thinking about learning video, stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up next week.
Yeah.
Which will be fun. Sorry, what were you going to say, Jim?
I was going to say, is there any more questions? Because we probably need
yeah.
to. If there's any last minute questions, because soon we'll do a cutoff and then have to announce who won the lucky strap.
Yeah, we should probably do that very soon. So last chance.
Last chance
to enter. If
Anyone got any questions?
Also, jump in the Facebook group.
Mm.
The camera.
I've got a
light
question
is
for
under.
Justin.
Hit me. You don't get to enter, by the way.
Oh, I'll just take whatever I want. Why aren't you wearing a flanny?
Because I don't like to be part of your flanny crew. Got a nice hoodie on. It's plain. It's just a plain hoodie.
It does look very plain.
I'm a plain person.
Black on black on black.
Looks like the comments have gone quiet. Draw out of the hat. Grant.
Drawing.
Do it.
Oh,
Hat.
Lauren wants a Facebook group. So Lauren, I reckon Grant put it earlier.
We'll repost it. We'll repost it. I'll find it. Well, Grant, you do the thing. I'll find the Facebook thing.
Alrighty.
Yeah, done.
Here we go. Can you see that? Here we go.
Yeah.
Don't favor anyone.
No.
Don't cheat.
You're allowed to look, Grant.
Oh. I have to see where else put my hand. Oh, here we go.
The winner is Grant.
Kenneth.
Kenneth
Robertson.
Yeah, cool.
Asked a lot of questions.
Congratulations. Contact me via the Lucky Straps Instagram or the Camera Life Instagram, whatever you want,
website,
and we'll figure it out.
Email.
And we'll get you a $200 voucher so you can get whatever you want. Happy days.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping in, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks for the comments. And thank you, Kenneth. Thank you. You'll be able to get something cool with that. It's enough. I made sure it was enough that you could, you didn't have to spend extra money to get something.
Yeah.
Those tricks. You've won a $30 voucher, but we don't sell anything under $100. No, there'll be none of that here. I just put the link to that Facebook group in the chat. So, jump in if you do want to join in. We really don't know what it's going to be yet. It'll probably be a place to ask questions, post photos, show edits, and ask people what you think of this edit versus that edit or anything like that. Gear suggestions.
Post your latest photo in there.
Maybe posting, is this a scam? Send the screenshots when you're trying to buy or sell gear. We can help as a team. We can figure out if something's a scam. Should be good.
Yeah. We're not gonna sell stuff in there though.
No.
No selling
well,
stuff.
maybe. I mean, unless people want to buy my stuff. Kenneth, you can definitely, if you've got, just email me. Whatever's easiest. Awesome. And otherwise, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Wrap it up for another week.
Wrap it up. Thanks
you guys
for everyone jumping in.
Yeah. Good work.
Go team.
And
here we go. A few people joining the group, which is good.
Beautiful. Jump in there, guys.
Yeah.
And if there's anything in the meantime, any questions, if you can't make the live shows, you can put questions in the comments below or on Instagram or anything like that. And we can always read them out if you're not here live and you can listen back later.
Yeah, I'll do my best to link the upcoming show. So you just drop it in the comments on that. So make it a bit easier for us to find.
On the Facebook group. Yeah, that works too.
Yep.
Good idea.
All right. Well, catch you guys soon.
Yeah, thank
See you next week.
See you next week.